I have to say it. I'm not going to be the Alabama coach. What?
How could you not predict at least 10 to 13 wins for next season is all I'm saying. But again,
Jesus Christ, 13 wins.
I said
you want an opportunity to play, and the Jets are giving me an opportunity to play.
I'm sorry. I just remember that you compared Gesicki to Kelsey. I'm sorry.
I did not. You know what?
About it, I am ready to get hurt again.
And it was a little sting. It wasn't a major hurt. Welcome to episode 16 of the Battered Fins Fans podcast. I am your host, the Bearded Fanatic. That is my co-host, the Battered Jets fan. Danny, how the hell are we doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Today's been a good day. The Nets put up 91 points in the first half for some reason, so things are looking up for me.
Wow, 91 points in the first half. Well, that is exciting, man. That's way more exciting than your New York Jets lately. You know, if there's something to talk about, we can talk about that. But
for sure, but let's not bore these people with New York talk.
Right. Like I said, we're going to talk some Dolphins football today. We're going to talk some Bills game for a little bit. We won't spend too much time on it. It's Wednesday. I'm pretty sure everybody else that's dove into this game, you've heard everybody else's opinion, but we haven't had the opportunity to drop our 2 cents about this game because I feel like there was plenty to take away and there was plenty of positives to take away from this game. But I want to start off a little bit different, Danny. Like usually we try to figure out what the positives in the game were, but I feel like there were so many. We should try to think about what the negatives were. And
hold on. I'm sorry. I want to clarify real quick. You said there's more good than bad?
Correct. I feel like there was more good to take away from this game than there is bad.
Okay.
So on that note, I want to talk about the bad. The bad was you got your wish in one aspect, which was stop with the Madden play calling. I felt like for 90% of the game, he did stop with the Madden play calling.
But
But I feel like the bad is that when it mattered most, he didn't call the right play. Like, how do you run down the field for 65 yards, get another 15, make it down to the 3, and then you said, you know what? When I'm in the end zone, and mind you, we get it. There were drop passes. When you go back and look at the video, Tyreek Hill dropped the ball, Trent Sheffield, we get it. But when running the ball worked for you to get up the field, why stop now? Danny, what's your thoughts on that?
You were averaging 7.2 yards a carry. You were running it down their motherfucking throat.
Yes, we were.
I felt like if you needed a yard or two, you can get that yard or two if you wanted. Mm-hmm. Now, this is my theory. Now, you tell me if I'm way off base because I was trying to think outside the box a little bit.
Okay.
Because I don't understand why Mike Daniel likes to play Madden. I've told you this several occasions.
Yes.
So I was thinking, he finally started running the ball, which is a great thing because obviously it was working.
Yeah. And
then I felt like he got away from it a little bit in the second half. So there was 25 total rushes, 15 in the first half, 10 in the second half. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is my theory. Everyone expected a heavy snow game. I feel like he game planned for a heavy snow game. And how do you plan for this? You plan to run the ball more than passing.
Yep.
Now, skies cleared up. Wasn't a lot of snow.
Field looked good.
Field looks pretty good. All right, let's see if it starts snowing during the first half. Mm-hmm. Sticks with the game plan. Running the ball. It's working. Halftime comes. He's like, you know what? I feel like pulling out that PlayStation 5 controller right about now. And what was working in the first half, yes, he still rushed the ball in the second half, but it wasn't the same. He got away from it more. He got to adjust. Was the adjustment more detrimental? I mean, I don't know. They took the lead, so maybe not. But I feel like there were a lot of opportunities where you could have run the ball, but he got pass happy. Now, I looked up a couple things. Now, if you would just give me a second to just run.
By all means.
All right. So there are certain occasions where I feel like if you're rushing the ball at 7.2 yards a carry, you should probably maybe try to run. Okay. Now, these are some of those occasions. You guys in the game had 3 plays that were 3rd and 1.
Mm-hmm.
You rushed it once. You converted. Mm-hmm. You passed it twice. You did not convert. There was one play that was a 3rd and 2. Again, you're averaging 7.2 yards a carry.
Yep.
You could maybe get those 2 yards if you run it right up the middle. You decided to pass. You didn't convert. You had 2 3rd and 3s. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 3rd and 3s. Both passing plays. Both didn't convert. Now, I would say that 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, those are considered 3rd and shorts.
For sure.
Those, if you're averaging 7, even if you're just averaging 3 yards a carry, you might be able to convert. The way you guys are running the ball, you should have at least attempted 1 or 2 runs there. But he got pass happy. Now, I looked up 3rd and 4, and there was only 2 of those, both passing plays also, but converted both of those. One of those was the 6-7 yard touchdown to Jalen Waddle. So those worked out for you. But my point is, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, all of those third down plays, just one rush out of all of them. All the rest was passing plays. I feel like this guy just loves to pass the ball way too much. If you're running the ball that effectively, do it. Run. And not always. But come on, man. Just once. And the only time he did it, it worked. And to his credit, 4th and 1, he ran it up the middle and he converted.
Yes.
But I don't know. It drives me crazy, man. And again, I'm not a Dolphins fan, but because we do this show, I'm in some aspects rooting for you guys because I'd like to keep recording the show. I want you guys to go far, and for your sake, I'd like you to see you guys, celebrate or whatever. Unless you're playing against us, obviously. But man, it's frustrating to watch it.
And that's kind of how I feel when I'm watching your game, because obviously I'm not a fan of the Jets, but I'm watching it in the aspect of I took my Dolphins hat off, and I'm watching it as a person who doesn't have any interest in either team playing on the field. And then you get that sense of frustration. You're like, you could have done something better and potentially came out on top. And I think for the most part, unless you have another one, that's kind of the biggest negative that I took away from the game, because the positives, and we'll get into like the bigger ones, but like positive I saw was the defense played all right. Miami played all right. Like, people could talk all they want about how disappointed they were after the game. You're only disappointed because we were in the game. Because beforehand, the majority of Dolphin fans and everybody around the world picked us to go up there and get slaughtered. And we didn't. So I get the disappointment comes after, but you already thought we were going to lose anyways. We ran a watch party here at Legends Tavern Sports Grill. And for the most part, people who are around us, even Dolphin fans, were claiming we were going to lose this game. So do I get you being disappointed? A little bit, because we were in it. We were in it to win it for sure. But for the most part, you thought we were going to lose. Me, I thought we were going to win. I thought we were going to win 16-10. I remember having this conversation with you, and I said, first team to 16 might win this game.
But we both thought that the snow was going to be a bigger factor in the game.
We didn't think that by the time the game started, this is pretty clear.
Yep.
Like the blizzard didn't show up until the last 4 minutes of the game, because I think Buffalo fans called it in or something. But listen, I didn't. When we lost the game, I wasn't as upset or disappointed as everybody else was. One, because all the negativity that we brought into the game, well, what was it? McDaniel's play calling. He's not adapting. Tua doesn't play good in cold weather. We can't run the ball worth a damn, or at least we haven't showed that we can. Our defense can't slow anybody down. All 5 of those were met during this game. Tua played a hell of a game. The running game, like you said, 7 point what per carry?
7.2.
At one point, he had 12 carries, 114 yards, and it wasn't even the fourth quarter yet. There were so many positives to take away from this game, Danny, that I couldn't be upset about the loss. Of course, you want to win, but if you want to talk about a loss where you could take a lot of things away, this game was it.
If you had to pinpoint, right, because you said, like, I watched that game, and I think you guys should have won. I think you might feel the same. If you could pinpoint 1 or 2 plays or situations that led to you guys to the demise of the Dolphins for that game, what would they be?
2nd and 8, 6 minutes and change left in the fourth quarter. We just got down the field. He came out and hit Jalen Waddle with a big pass. He came out and hit Trent Sherfield. He hit Tyreek Hill up and down right down the field. And I'm like, all right, it's 2nd and 8. And I'm telling my group, you got to run the ball right here. You got to run the ball right here. Even if you only get 2 yards, you run the ball right here. You get positive yards. Throws it out past the Tyreek Hill behind the line of scrimmage, and we lose like 6 yards in that play. Now your 2nd and 8 became a fucking 3rd and 13 or something like that. I felt like that one was a really big one. And obviously, the drop passes in the end zone by Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. By Trent Sherfield. I feel like we made.
I thought he caught it.
I thought he caught it.
I thought he caught it.
And then you look at the replay.
No, I didn't get to see the replay. I'm not sure. Okay. I can't remember why I didn't see the replay. But I saw it, and I was like, it looked like it went into his stomach. He caught it. I wasn't sure what happened.
What's funny to me is they say that all you need to do is break the plane, right? Because Josh Allen
running in with the ball, though.
Correct. Well, I'm like, Josh Allen didn't look like he crossed that plane. Like, this much of the ball
he did.
got over. I get it.
even though I went to use the bathroom after that because I thought he didn't get it. And when I came back, I was like, 29-29. What the fuck just happened?
Right. But he did get it. He did get it. We're not gonna argue that. But I'm saying, like, really close looking at it, you're like, oh shit, he fumbled again. But nonetheless, I thought those are killer plays. But we made up for that because at the end of the game, fourth quarter, 6 minutes left, we're in this game. We're in this game, and we have a potential to win it. So for me, that was a big, not a huge play, like it mattered that much. But I feel like you were in a position on their side of the field to take some more time off the clock, and you didn't by doing that stupid ass play.
Let me give Cedric Wilson some love because he had one hell of a catch. Yes, and it looked so. And when they showed the slow-mo replay with the snow falling all over the place, I'm like, oh, look at that. This guy, I would, if I was him, I'd frame that picture because I don't know how many more catches I'm going to get in my career. Definitely not going to look that pretty, but that was a nice catch.
Did you hear, being that you said that about Cedric Wilson, and he's so rarely used in this offense, and when he is used, he really doesn't show up.
Was Mike Gesicki playing?
Well, that's what I was
speaking of rarely used.
Mike Gesicki was playing. He got one catch for like 4 or 5 yards.
I don't remember him catching the ball.
Yeah. He got one catch for like 5 yards. Got tackled right away by their corner, I want to say. But it's what he said. It's what he said after the game.
What do you say?
Okay, so you didn't catch his clip. So apparently the feds are out here filming Mike Gesicki on the sidelines, and there's a video of him going up to Dawson Knox and be like, "Yo, my boy, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you that you got paid. I'm so glad that you're being productive, and at least they're fucking using you."
I mean, you can't blame him though.
You can't. I'm not mad.
No.
If any Dolphin fan hears that, I don't give a fuck if the guy can't block. I'm gonna say this name. Shut the fuck up and let me finish. Travis Kelce isn't the greatest blocker in the world, but he gets open. He gets open and he catches the ball and he runs on the field for 60, 70 yards. What I'm saying is you saw a little bit of that with Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback, and we're not talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick too. I'm just saying we saw a little bit of that when Ryan Fitzpatrick was in the game. I'm just saying Mike Gesicki has the potential of being a really great pass catcher if he was involved more. And I get it if you want to use the excuse that he's not blocking that well and we need better. But when he's in the game, you have to at least look his way, is all I'm saying. But yes, that's why I asked you if you caught that, because from lack of people being used, he's the award winner for that.
I went over those third and short situations, right? I forget how many named off. I named off like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
If you're going to end up passing it, Mike Gesicki might be a good person, a big body to pass into in that your shorter situation, right? You want to get 3 or 4 yards, a quick curl route, something like that. Big body. You know, he could box out to
somebody that defender, like post right in the middle of the field and literally just dip it into him. Yeah, right. I'm with you.
So I'm not sure why he's not being used. It's a true shame because I know you and I had that debate over the summer, and we were going back and forth because I thought he might be top 5. You thought he might be top 3.
Yeah.
But we thought he'd be top 32 for sure. And right now, statistically, he's not even top 32.
Tyler Conklin's having a better season than Mike Gesicki right now.
CJ Uzama might be also, and actually, I think your boy Smythe might be having a better season.
Durham Smythe, yeah, he's
Durham
definitely.
Smythe, there you go.
But at least, again, the excuse that people make, at least Durham Smythe is blocking. I get that, but
they're not running. Who's he blocking? Get out of here!
Right, you finally just ran for the first time this past game. But let's talk about another guy, Tua Tagovailoa, sir. All the things you saw the past 2 weeks, I was a big defender of Tua after that horrendous game. What I consider horrendous. A lot of people didn't consider horrendous. They just consider him being off. But I consider horrendous based off the standards of Tua he has set himself up for this year. He's looked really good. He led the league in so many passing statistics up until week 14. So we're talking about just 2 weeks ago, he was leading the NFL in so many categories. But I said to myself, I thought the Chargers game, he was going to bounce back. I was 1 week off. But guess what, Danny? I get that he ran the ball the majority of the time, and the aspect that's what you really remember was a big chunk of yardage that they were getting on the ground. But when the guy needed to make a pass, he was making that pass, and he was hitting the people on the dime. So I'm very happy to be able to see him come back and have such a good game. Not just a good game, but have a good game in the supposable cold weather and horrible snow games that he's never had. He still leaves that game now 0-6 in cold weather games, but that had nothing to do with him.
Are you worried that he's a little too dependent on Tyreek Hill? If you look at the receptions on this team, Tyreek Hill had 9 receptions. Jalen Waddle had 3, Nobody else had more than one. Like, does it get to a point where if a good defensive coach is like, you know what, we're gonna figure out how to take away Tyreek Hill, and I get that Jalen Waddle is a great receiver also, but if I like, you know what, and I don't know how the fuck you take away Tyreek Hill because he's a fucking monster, but if somebody figures out like one man over the top, double team him, I don't know, like something, they figure out how to throw him off and eliminate him from the game. Like, are you worried just a little bit that he's depending way too much on Tyreek Hill?
I'm not.
Okay.
I think one of the reasons that Tyreek Hill decided to leave Kansas City was for the simple reason that he wasn't being used enough. Now, I'm not saying at all that he's had a conversation with Mike McDaniel. I'm not saying he's had a conversation with Tua, because Tyreek seems like a great team player. But I think that if at any point that conversation was brought up by his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, and then it was brought up with Chris Greer and stuff like that, I feel like that he wants to be the number one receiver at all times. And if he's not open, he's going to be fine that the ball went elsewhere. But I think he commands that if he's open, you got to get him the rock. And I think Tua knows that. And that's my scapegoat about it. That's why I'm not too worried about it, because we saw that one game where like everybody on the team was being used, like 4 receptions here, 4 receptions there, another 3 here, another 4 there. And he was literally hitting everybody on the team. Now, granted, that's a one-off, because we haven't seen that since then. And I forgot, I think it may be the Browns game where he was using everybody, but I can't remember right now. But the fact is that we've seen him do it. But my ultimate go-to is that I think that because Tyreek kind of demands that you get him involved, not verbally, but because he's, like you said, he's the biggest distraction on the field. He gets open so easily. He makes so many defenders come his way that I feel like when he's not getting the ball, your team's not going to be as productive. So Tua knows mentally I got to keep him in the game.
I can't say Tua disappointed me, but I was disappointed when you guys were up 5.
Mm-hmm.
You forced a fumble. Jaden Phillips, go ahead.
Yes.
Forced a fumble. And I was like, you guys are about to score a touchdown and take a 2-possession lead. And you guys only got a field goal out of it. Went up 8. I was disappointed because that was the time for that offense to get into the end zone.
I agree.
But you guys forced another fumble right after, and you just couldn't recover it. But at that point, I thought you guys get into Josh Allen. The game's going to be over soon. I really thought for a few moments there that this game was yours. And I was disappointed that you guys didn't get in the end zone, because if you guys get in the end zone at that point, I think the game's over.
All right, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about I ultimately put the blame on Mike McDaniel, but again, it's just because I have to pick somebody. I feel like, you know, the term that you've used before, he gets too cute sometimes. Mm-hmm. I think this game, it could be what you said, because there was no snow in the game, because there was
he made that halftime adjustment.
Right. He's like, hey guys, I think we could pass more.
Let's go.
Honestly, if the blame has to go to anybody, I'm going to put it on Mike McDaniels, because a lot people could shit on Josh Boyer all you want. He came out and made some good second half adjustments. He shut him out completely in the third quarter. They did not score any points in the third quarter. So, again, you can shit on Josh Boyer you want. The defense showed up in the supposable blizzard conditions there was going to be, and they did what they could against Josh Allen. Look, Josh Allen still went 25 of 40, 304, and 4 touchdowns, and we were still in the game. And that's a hell of a game. Carried me into the next round of the playoffs. By the way, I'm in the semifinals in both leagues that Mr. Daniel Granada hosts. I told you, man, it's what I do. This is what I do. But if I had to pick somebody to blame, and I know we played the blame game yesterday, I felt like there wasn't enough candidates to play the blame game on, and that's why I picked Mike McDaniel. How about you?
I guess I'd have to go along the same lines. Mike McDaniel, like I said, when I saw the play calling, I was like, why get away from the run game when it's working so well? Especially with all those third and shorts, you're averaging that much. You're running so well. Just run the ball once or twice on those. So that was a little disappointing. I think if I had to pick somebody, I'd pick him. Another candidate for me would be the defense, just because the Bills got the ball, and I think it was like their own 8-yard line with 6 minutes left in the game. Mm-hmm. You guys never got the ball back.
No.
They ran out the last 6 minutes. And that goes back to the conversation that we've had several times, where you need an offense that can sustain drives. That's basically like closing out the game. Yes. Josh, they had, I don't know how many third downs, and I think they converted, obviously, on that drive. But with the Dolphins, it's like 67-yard touchdown on Jalen Waddle. All right, defense, get back on the field. It's like let's figure out how to get some sustained offense. Now, obviously, running the ball helps, and I think you guys are as crazy as it seems, since it's going to be week 16 coming up.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are just starting to figure out how to balance your offense out a little bit, and Mike McDaniel has to figure out how to stop grabbing that controller at halftime and just ride that run game. Because if you guys start balancing that out a little better, I think you guys are going to be fucking lethal in the playoffs.
I feel like if we had Sauce Gardner on our team, we probably wouldn't have got called for those couple of really horrendous pass interference calls they called against Kader Kohu, because, sir, there was no pass interference on Kader Kohu. Like, even before the initial pass interference that they called, which was right at the end, the referee was already slinging that flag. And I'm like, I didn't see pass interference. I went back and saw the all 22. Now, I think you could call holding at the very end of the play, right before right as the flag was coming out, because he never turned around for the ball, but he grabbed his arm right at the end. You want to call holding on that? 5-yard penalty, get down the field. But pass interference, I saw no pass interference. What they did to Tyreek Hill.
You guys got that roughing the kicker or roughing the punter or whatnot.
Oh my God, but he roughed the shit out of him, sir.
I know, but still, you guys got a scoring touchdown. You scored a touchdown after that one.
Yeah, you did. But listen, another pass interference to Tyreek Hill was missed. That guy was bear hugging Tyreek Hill before the ball got there. Also not called. I don't know what it is. I think Sauce Gardner is the only one that gets away with those penalties in the NFL. But
I don't know. You guys have a Pro Bowler on your team, but apparently Xavier Howard's a Pro Bowler this year. I don't. Look, Xavier Howard.
Can we talk about other Pro Bowlers?
But when I saw Xavier Howard made the Pro Bowl, I was like, what? Is it fan voting? Like, how do they make the Pro Bowl? Because it is fan voting.
Well, no. Well, it's not only fan voting, but fan voting was the one that was up to, like, I believe last week, and you kept, retweeting. All those fan votes were counting towards him as well. But
I'm sorry, Xavier Howard has had one hell of a Dolphins career, but this season,
let's talk about that.
Pro Bowler.
I agree. But I guess fan voting is what got him in, at least from a fan perspective. But let's talk about real people who deserve it. Tua deserves to go to the Pro Bowl, and he ended up finishing number 1 in Pro Bowl voting amongst fans. Tyreek Hill finished number 2. Christian Wilkins deserved to go to the Pro Bowl as well. Like, these are 3 big names that coming into the season, you're like, we need big years out of, and you got big years out of all 3 of those guys. So if you want to talk about people,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Didn't Teron Armstead also make the Pro Bowl?
Oh no, I don't know. I don't want to mention everybody, but yeah, he made. He made it as well.
Got you.
But what I'm saying is, did you expect Tua to be a Pro Bowler this year based off just what you've seen up until this point before the season started? Did you say, okay, he's got Jalen Waddle, I get it, he's going to get Tyreek Hill, but do I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler this year?
Before the season started, I wouldn't have said that he was going to make the Pro Bowl, but if you tell me, no, he's going to make the Pro Bowl, I wouldn't have been shocked, I guess I could say. Because I told you, I thought that he would put up great numbers just because of the yak. Like, I thought that he would get so many yards after the guys. Like, that Jalen Waddle pass, that traveled, like 10, 15 yards, but he took it to the house for 67 yards. When you have those type of receivers, you're going to get plenty of yards. Raheem Mostert, he had like a quick swing route, like 5-10 yards, and he took it like 20-25 yards. Like, with those speedsters, I was like, statistically, Tua has one hell of a chance of being a Pro Bowler.
I agree.
But no, I wouldn't have said, yeah, he's a Pro Bowl quarterback, but I wouldn't have been shocked if statistically he made it. Now, obviously, he's been more than just statistically. Up until this 3-game losing streak, he was probably one of the leaders for MVP this year.
Yeah.
Even though I think Tyreek Hill's the MVP, but whatever.
Right. Let's talk about that real quick. Let's spend a few moments on that. If Tua lights it up these last 3 weeks, do you think he's still in the conversation for MVP at the end of the year?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like, I want him to win it, but he doesn't qualify for a comeback player of the year, so it wouldn't be that. So I think because of this 0-3 road streak, that's what basically got him out of it, and having those 2 really bad games really knocked him out of that race. But it's
that and not winning the division,
right? And as fair as it is that he shouldn't be in the conversation now because of those big 3 losses, like you said, not winning the division. The dude was playing lights out football up until that point.
He was. And like I said, I thought behind Jalen Hurts, I thought he might be the MVP. Now, Jalen Hurts probably has it in the bag already. And the fact that you're still fighting for a playoff spot, I think is what's going to kill Tua's chances of even being nominated. Because you guys went from maybe winning the division to, at this point, if you lose on Sunday
Yeah.
And then the Jets and the Patriots, and the Patriots would be
We're ahead of the
this
Patriots
weekend?
as well. We're
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
the Packers.
They play the Packers. So if the Jets, the Patriots, and the Chargers, and I forgot what other teams win, you guys, I don't know if you guys fall back to 7th or even 8th. So like you guys are not in a comfortable position per se. So I think
agree.
that completely kills your MVP chances as Tua.
All right. Well, let's talk about that one now. On Christmas Day.
Before we get in there, I want to add just one last thing to that Bills game.
Mhm.
Was it just me that felt like it was deja vu at the end of the first half? Right before Josh Allen threw that touchdown to go from 14-13 to 21-13, he was running out of time.
Yeah.
And I was like, they went from getting a field goal to not getting any points. Literally, that's how the first half ended in Miami, that week 2 or whatever it was, or week 3. And they got no points out of it. And then it happened again at the end of the game. And I remember when I saw him scrambling, the clock said 000. I was like, holy shit. Again? They're not gonna get any point. They're gonna go back and lose this game because they're not gonna run. They're gonna run out of time again. And I mean, obviously he converted, but I felt like it was deja vu all over again. I don't know what's going on over there with their time management.
So for me, it wasn't deja vu. For me, I literally looked over at somebody that was there and I said, he earned that one after the 2 big misses that he had done in Miami earlier in the season.
Oh, yeah. He earned that one. That the way he hit this guy at the back of the end zone when he was rolling to his right, yeah.
Listen, great route running on. I think it was Dawson Knox that caught it in the back of the end zone. Great for him, but God, Josh Allen is so annoying. Josh Allen is so annoying.
That 44-yard run he had in the fourth quarter, I was like, oh, fucking of course. Of course.
You texted me right away. You're like, God damn, this guy and his damn legs.
I fucking hate that guy.
All right, well.
You imagine Gesicki in that Bills offense?
Sir, let's not wish upon a bad star there because I would hate to see him in the division. I would hate to see him with you guys and Mike White throwing him the ball. Let's talk about Christmas Day. Let's talk about Christmas Day and the Pack coming to town. Earlier in the season, people were like, oh, this is going to be a big game. Now, it's a big game, but it's a big game for us. The Pack ain't what they used to be, but you know who's still a bad man? That man, A-Rod.
Aaron?
Yeah, that guy Aaron's still a bad man, bro. Let me tell you. What did I tell you my fear was back when we played the Chargers? That I felt we were going to make Justin Herbert look real good. And we did. We made Brock Purdy look good. But you know what? Brock Purdy's looked good against a few people so far since we played them. Josh Allen looked really good. So, Danny, when we're coming into this game, what am I afraid of? A-Rod may not have anybody to throw the ball to, but guess what? We're making everybody look like an MVP as a quarterback on the opposite side. I know that you've said that our defense plays better at home, so I'm asking you this question first.
That's what I was about to say.
Just because we play better at home, can we play good enough to slow down Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, you're gonna clap that guy. You guys have the second best. Yes, like, that guy didn't do shit against the Jets, and you guys have the second best home defense in the league. You guys are gonna clap that guy up, and he's so weird. He's on Christmas Day. I don't know. I feel like everything's just set up for him to play horribly. And this isn't even like a statistical analysis. I just don't like that guy.
Yeah.
So I'm just assuming that you guys are gonna clap him up. Yeah. Look, you guys are due. You 3-game losing streak. You know that if you lose on Sunday, those playoff chances take a drastic drop.
Right now, I think we're like at 69% or 62%, something like that.
To New England. In the cold weather where Tua again hasn't won in I don't know how many games, it's been 0-6 or whatnot.
0-6 now,
Then you got Bill Belichick, which everybody's talking about him being overrated, but to me, he's still Bill
lost
Belichick.
To the Raiders. He lost to the Raiders, sir.
I know. And you think he's going to lose twice like that? Actually, he has lost twice like that. He lost to you guys like that also, right?
Right.
So, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. On Sunday, you guys are coming in, and it's like almost like a must-win for you guys. I really think that you guys will slow him down. Your defense will step up like they have all year at home. And I can't imagine Aaron Rodgers having a good game on Sunday.
Well, we're favored 60% to win this game. I felt like those are pretty good odds coming into it. We're a 4-point favorite at home. I probably want to see a higher spread, but I'm happy with 4 because I think we'll win by at least 6. What was my fear coming into this game? Making Aaron Rodgers look good. Like I said, we've made the last few quarterbacks look really good, but we were on the road. We're a much different defense at home. Aaron Jones, Is he playing? Because he's been balling. He's got 937 yards, but he's only seen the end zone twice this year.
Well, I'm trying to see what's the Packers' schedule. I'm sorry, a record.
Right now, they're 6-8, 2-5 on road games.
Oh, they're 6-8. I thought they were worse than that. So they still have an outside chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah. Remember, Detroit could technically still be in it if they win out, and then I think it's a tiebreaker between Green Bay and Detroit if they win out as well, because they would be 8-8 as well, or 8-9.
Well, the thing is, Green Bay's last 2 wins have been against the Rams, which are fucking atrocious,
Right?
and against the Bears, which are also horrible. As much as everybody's licking up on Justin Fields, I think he's
Right.
still horrible. So the only good win they've had all year, they beat the Cowboys. No, man, I don't see it. I think you guys are going to clap them up.
All right, well, it's like we said, they're definitely beatable. They're definitely not the Packers of old. Go ahead. I thought you were going to say something.
Yes. I will tell you that they still have the second best pass defense in the league.
I hear you.
And a good defense travels.
I hear you, but here's where it doesn't bother me. Because a lot of people don't play against Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill. So, yeah, you could look good against a bunch of other people, but have they faced a combination of a Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill? You know? So
that's a great point.
To
That's a great point, because I'm sure playing the Bears twice helps you statistically immensely.
The Rams, like you said.
But they did hold the Lions to 15 points.
Yeah. What about the Cowboys?
The Cowboys put up 28 on them.
Right. So it's like, and they got CeeDee Lamb and who else out there? That's my point. It's like they could get got.
They held the Vikings to 23.
But still, 23 points. If you say our defense is going to clap up Aaron Rodgers and shut him down, and our team could come away with minimum 23 points, that's a dub.
That should be a
dub.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So let's go ahead and predict this game, buddy. I want to go first. I feel like after a 3-game losing streak, that now you've shown that you can run the rock effectively. You've been able to pass effectively. I think I'm gonna take a quote from Stephen A. this past week, something that I thought he would never say. The Dolphins can beat anyone right now. Now that they figured out, kind of like you said, they're getting into their groove, that they know how to run the rock. I think it's the mental mistakes of calling the wrong play at the wrong time that might screw you over. Like you said, maybe going for it on too many 4th downs might screw them over. I think those are mental mistakes that a first-year head coach could potentially make. But I don't think any of that's going to matter this upcoming Sunday. And I think the Dolphins are going to put up, I would say, somewhere in the range of 28 points. And I think the Packers put up 17. Give me a 28-17 win for the Miami Dolphins at home on Christmas Day.
I guess I'm somewhere along the same lines. I'd say 23. I think you guys score 2 touchdowns and get 3 field goals. I'd say 23-14, 9-point win, which makes it a 2-possession game.
Yeah.
And I think you guys get to Aaron Rodgers.
Their O-line's not that great either, so I agree. I think we do get to Aaron Rodgers.
And I think you guys win. I think you guys win comfortably. I know a 9-point win isn't necessarily comfortable, but I don't think it's going to be any point you're going to be stressing out over the game like you were against the Bills game, for example. So I think that you guys will win. And let me tell you that you guys are playing the 2nd best pass defense this week, the 8th best pass defense the week after that, and then you guys finish against the Jets, which have the 4th best pass defense. So nobody can say that Tua is going to, like, all of a sudden turn it on and just ride out and end the season strong just because he has a weak schedule. No, he's playing against good pass defenses. So if he has a good 3-game stretch, he earned that.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that final game. We're going to be able to get there and watch. But, due to unforeseen circumstances, I will not be at the Christmas games. Sometimes life just happens that way, man. Sometimes you
we shouldn't be there anyway. They shouldn't have football games on Christmas Day. That's an NBA day.
It's still a Sunday, and football's for Sundays.
Doesn't matter. Years past, they've done it on Saturdays.
Right, but nonetheless, I will not be there. I am gonna give my tickets away. It seems, but I'm not gonna do a whole contest for it. I think there's a few people that I met this past week that told me they've never been to a Dolphins game, so I might just surprise them and ask for the email address and send the tickets their way. I think that it's the perfect time. We've had a pretty good
Christmas Day for sure.
Right. So why not make somebody happy on Christmas Day if I myself can't be there. But you and I will be at Hard Rock Stadium for Week 18, whatever day that is. Sure, we may get
decided. They haven't said it yet, right?
Right, we may get flexed that game. Like, let's use the last 5 minutes real quick. Let's say that both of us are in a position to get in, or let's say we're both in, but now seeding matters. That game might get flexed. Me and you might be going to a Saturday night or a Sunday night game.
Well, they just need to win out to make the playoffs. Like, I know statistically they don't. Like, there's other ways they can get in with like some teams losing, but for the most part, the best chance for them to make it is for them to win out. So, I mean, if we want to make that game be important, we have to hope that the Jets win the next 2 games.
Well, Zach Wilson's your quarterback, so you're probably not going to win that game. But you know that.
Right. But hey, he was 5-2 before this last week, so maybe
maybe he decides to play better and be
give
a
us,
game
give
manager.
us this W and then hand the ball back to Mike White the following week, and hopefully Mike White is playing for something in Miami.
Real quick, I know there's a Dolphin show, but I want to know: is Mike White cleared to play for tomorrow or not?
No.
He's still not clear.
We knew.
All right, cool.
Yeah, a short week. He couldn't come back.
Right. If they
I'm hoping next week.
Right. If they for sure didn't clear him last week, on a short week, they're gonna be like, nah, bro, you're still not playing on Thursday.
Yeah. But I have hopes that he'll be playing in Seattle. So hopefully get us that dub in Seattle. And man, somehow Zach Wilson wins tomorrow and give us an important game that last week. So many times that the Jets and Dolphins have played the last week of the season, and it's never meant anything. Well, it did for once that means something.
You say that
for both of us. For both of us.
Right. I'm saying you say that, but you don't remember very clearly that Brett Favre game. Statistically, you guys still could have made it in that very last week. Statistically, I don't care what you say.
No. But let me be clear. Wasn't that a Sunday night game?
Yes.
It was a night game. They had already been eliminated before that game started.
Correct, but still, we made the emphasis on it.
Oh, I see. We already eliminated. We already eliminated, sir.
Fuck that.
I remember I was at an ex-girlfriend's house and her brother started talking mad shit like as the game was going on. I was like, dude, we're already eliminated. Shut the fuck up. Like,
but I'm pretty sure they were
he was still talking shit. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but still, like, we were already eliminated. Like, stop talking shit. I get it. I already cried earlier.
So selfishly enough, I don't even know if it's selfishly enough. I want you guys to be able to play. I want you guys playing for something that last week because I think
it makes the game part of the atmosphere.
Correct. And God knows that we need an exciting Week 18 game. Yeah. Like, even if we're in already, but you guys need to get in, that still makes it exciting. Like, if you guys need to win. Exactly. Like, who wouldn't want that as a Dolphins fan? All these damn Jets fans. All right, sir. Well, this was episode 16 of the Battered Fins Fans podcast. I am the beer fanatic Manny. That is the Battered Jets fan Daniel. It was a pleasure that you guys stuck around and listened to the whole show. As usual, like, comment, and subscribe below. Any other points that we may have missed, bring them up below. And we're definitely going to read your comments when you post them. Danny, anything else?
Yes. If anybody's still watching all the way to the bitter end of this video, Manny keeps telling me he doesn't remember when they would say release the wolf during Dolphins game. I need somebody to comment below, be like, I remember because I went to those games and I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world for a Dolphins stadium during the Dolphins game. I think it was the defense. It'd say release the wolf. I was like, this makes absolutely no sense. At least release a fucking shark. Why are you releasing a wolf?
Clip this and use it in the highlight reel because I promise you, nobody has ever heard that. And if they have,
I'm telling you. Because I remember it stood out to me. I was like, why are they releasing a wolf? I remember do they call Cameron Wake the wolf? Like it made no sense to me why they did that.
Let me ask you a question. You're a teacher. What's that thing? What's that theory called where you think you know or you remember something happening, but it actually never happened? What's that theory called? I can't remember right now. It's like people remember like a certain movie being made with a certain character.
A false memory?
It's something along those lines, but I think you're having a false memory, sir. Because I don't understand how you would get wolf.
To me so much. I was like, this franchise is fucking stupid, is what I thought to myself.
Now I know. Now you know why you were never a Dolphins fan. You're like, if there was ever any inclination, now these motherfuckers talking about wolves, I don't want to be a Dolphin fan.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right, boys. Well, thank you so much for joining up. Comment below if you've actually heard of releasing the wolf. I haven't, but I'll catch you boys next week after a Packers victory. Peace.
Peace.